Hi, I'm Neil MacDonald from Binary Stream Software. In the course of my day-to-day business, I talk to customers all the time who are running multiple companies in Dynamics GP. Of course, multiple companies means multiple databases. The purpose of this short video is to share 5 best practices for running multiple companies in Dynamics GP. Number 1, synchronize your master records. For example, let's say you sign up a new vendor and I've got 10 databases. Standard GP, I have to create that vendor 10 times, once in each database, in order for each of my companies to do business with that vendor. Now imagine if I didn't have a set method of naming my vendors. Users just went and created whatever they wanted. That same vendor could have a different ID in each company. Now when I want to run an age trial balance to see, what is my total spend on that vendor, I've got to figure out how to match those up. Wouldn't it be easier from a reporting and a management standpoint to synchronize so that when I create that vendor once, I use the same ID in each of my companies? Of course it would. Number 2, synchronize your chart of accounts. And by this we mean specifically the natural account. You may have different cost centers and departments, that's understandable. From a natural account standpoint, to the extent possible, synchronize those. Imagine you want to run a revenue report, and in some of your company's revenue is account, say 4100. In some of your other accounts, it's 4250. In other companies, it's 4700. Now again, when you create that revenue report, you have to figure out, where am I pulling from? Which accounts do I need to pull from which company to get everything to match properly to give me the correct numbers? Synchronize, where you can, those natural accounts. Pay attention to your security. That's number 3. There's a utility in GP that lets me set up a new company. I can grab the security, grab the users from one company, simply import them in and plug them into another company with the same security. But is that what you really want? Is it possible that some of the employees who have access to this company may not even need to be here? Or if I do take them from this company to this company, their access is slightly different. So again, this is easily managed in GP. This best practice simply says, pay attention to your security when you're copying users from one company to another. 4, get a reporting tool that simplifies your life. If you've got multiple databases, multiple companies, make sure your reporting tool, for example, Management Report or Jet Reports, has the ability to pull from each of those databases. When you set up your reports, make sure you're looking in each database, pulling the correct accounts, of course. Again, this is where the synchronization comes in handy to get those correct reports. There are a lot of nice reporting tools out there. Just make sure that you get the one that's best for you. Number 5, and this one wraps up the other 4. To run multiple companies in Dynamics GP, the easiest way to do it is using Binary Stream's multi-entity management. This is a fully embedded Dynamics GP module, sits inside of GP, no need to be logging in, logging out, no need to go out there somewhere. It sits inside of GP, lets me bring all of my companies together, and there's tools to help you do that as well. But it will then eliminate the need to log in and log out. Imagine if you have a lot of employees, a lot of databases, and they're logging in and logging out each day. Do the math on that and figure out how much time are your employees wasting just watching screens change, just waiting for GP to log itself out, log back in again. You'll be shocked at how much time you could save if you could eliminate that logging in and logging out. Have a single set of master records. Let's go back to that vendor. Rather than create the vendor 10 times, we create the vendor once. We then share it or restrict it within our companies. That's entirely up to you, the user, how that works. Does that vendor, that customer, does that item, does that site need to be accessed in all of your companies or just a small subset? Multi-entity management allows you to manage that very, very easily. Multi-entity management uses the same chart of accounts. Yes, we designate a segment for your company, maybe your cost center if you want to account at that level, but the natural accounts for the most part are the same. So when I enter a revenue transaction for one company, but then I code it for a different company, or maybe I'm splitting the revenue, the distributions look after themselves. Multi-entity management does the account substitution of the company and the cost center, but it knows which natural account to hit every single time. As a bonus, when you cross from one company to another, multi-entity management also manages the intercompany due tos and due froms. It looks at the owner of the transaction, it looks at the owner of the different revenues and expenses, and it does the do to, do froms every single time they will balance. There's no need to go to another database, another company, somewhere else in order to finish posting that transaction. And it works with every module where you have multi-entity management installed inside of Dynamics GP. Multi-entity management, we also call it MEM, simplifies reporting. Again, everything is in a single database, but when you run a report or run an inquiry, we let you choose, do you want to run it for one company, for a group of companies, or for all companies? You can do the same thing in Management Reporter and Jet Reports. You build that tree based on the company segment, and it allows you to run consolidated reports just as easily as running a single company report. That's huge for directors and CFOs and CEOs. MEM simplifies all of the security as well. It manages the master records, it manages the users, it manages the user security. It allows you to have different GP roles per entity, even though we're in a single database. Again, these 5 best practices are simply to help you run multiple companies in Dynamics GP. If you want to learn more, set up an interview with one of our business consolidation experts. Thank you for your time.